Hello, lovely people. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today, we want to help you to use Odiaba for favor, protection, and other physical and spiritual purposes. We have already talked about how to use the Prekese and sea salt for favor, spiritual protection, and a whole lot. We have also talked about how to use the garlic and sea salt for a whole lot of things, and people are bringing more and more testimonies. Today, I want to add this to it for you to benefit from the use of herbs for spiritual purposes as well as physical purposes. There are a lot of herbs that I want to talk about on this channel, so please, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe so that you benefit from it. But for this particular herb or item that we want to talk about, it is a very common herb. Some people call it the Odiaba, others call it the Odi seed. When you go to the Yoruba people in Nigeria, they call it the Anunuebe seed. So it is a very common herb. A lot of people know it. But please, if you speak a different language, you can just show the picture to the market women who sell herbs, and then they are going to help you to get it. For this particular one, it has so many uses that we cannot even finish talking about. So today I'm coming to teach you some, and then as time goes on, I'll come and teach you more. But please, we shall talk about the physical uses as well as the spiritual uses. So let's talk about how to use it for physical things. So let's start with migraine. If you have migraine, what you do is that you put this particular seed inside warm water, and then you just use it as what? Something that you'll be putting inside your nostrils, like a nasal drop. But for this particular one, we are just going to sieve the water after soaking the udiaba seed for about 3 days. So this one, you are just going to soak only one. If you have migraine, you soak only one seed in some small quantity of water, like maybe one sachet of water. So you soak it for 3 days, and then after the 3 days, you sieve the water. So every morning, you just take just 1 teaspoon, that small spoon, you take one, and then you pour inside one nostril, and then you take another teaspoon, and then you pour it into the other nostril, and then you see that by 3 days your migraine will just go. But please, if after 3 days the migraine is still there, then it means that maybe there is a wound in your head. So what you do is that you just add a little of Florida water onto the water that you have sieved. So please, Florida water is what you see on the screen. When you go to those people who sell oils and then spiritual waters, they will be able to give you the Florida water. So you just add a teaspoon or a small amount of the Florida water to it, and then you also pour that one into your nostril. So you are going to pour just 1 teaspoon into one nostril, and then you pour one into the other nostril, and then you are going to do it for 3 days continuously, and then you see that your head will start giving out a lot of flames through your nostrils, and then within a short time, those wounds in your head that is causing halitosis or causing problem. Some people, they have chronic sinusitis. If you have that problem and then you do this particular remedy, it is just going to go. All those flames in your head will just come. So please kindly make sure that you do this one to heal the wound in your head. And then if you also have halitosis that is coming from your mouth, if the halitosis is not coming from your head, or the problem is not a wound in your head, but the halitosis is coming from your mouth, like maybe you have tonsil problem or the inflammation of the tonsil gland. If you have that, what you are going to do is that you put the udiaba seed inside warm water, and then you leave it for 24 hours. You see that the water will turn brownish. So what you are going to do is that every morning you use some to gargle. By gargling, I mean that you pour the water in your mouth, and then you swish the water in your mouth for some time, and then you see that if you continuously do it for about a month or 2, depending on the severity of the problem, that particular mouth odor is going to go. Some people will get results within a week. Some people will have to do it for a longer number of days, and all those problems are just going to leave your mouth for you. And then if you have also chronic disease, there are some people, they have chronic disease such that the disease, everybody have told them that this one, it is not going to go. So what you are going to do is that You can decide that you grind it or you pound it, but please, this is very hard. So for it to be very easy for you to grind, you are supposed to burn it in a pot. So you put a pot on fire, and then when the pot becomes very hot, you now put just one seed of the odiaba into the pot, and then see that the seed will burn. So after it has burned, it has become brown, you now put it on a stone and then you grind it. So the black powder that you have gotten, every morning when you want to take porridge or you want to take some food that is liquid, you just add 2 spoons of the powder to the food and then you take it. So you are going to do it twice daily. If you continuously do it for some time, you see that the particular disease that you have, that all doctors and everyone has told you that it is going to kill you or it has no solution, it will just live your life miraculously. Now let's look at how you are going to use it for spiritual purposes. So let's start by bad dreams. For those people who always have bad dreams, what you are supposed to do is that you put you fix some nail at the top side of your door. So you put that nail there and then you hang the odiaba seed on it. You can put the odiaba seed in a cloth and then you tie it. It can be any color of cloth, and then you tie it on it and then you hang it at the doorpost there. No evil spirit can come to your room to do anything in your room. No spirit to have anything doing with you again. You stop having those bad dreams. And then if you also need financial favor or you need some money badly, and then there is no solution for you, what you are supposed to do is that you just get one odiaba seed. You also get one full prekese, please. And then you also get 11 pieces of cloves. So cloves is what you see on the screen. And then you are also going to get one stick of cinnamon. So cinnamon is what you see on the screen. And then you are also going to get 77 perfume. 77 perfume is also very common. Those people who sell Florida and other things, they also sell the 77 perfume. So what you do is that you put all this in water for 3 days. You soak it for 3 days, and then after 3 days, what you are going to do is that anytime you are going to bath, you add a little of it to your bathing water. If you are going to bath in the morning, you add a little of it to your bathing water and then you send it to the bathroom to bath. After bathing, you allow it to dry on you. And then when you are also going to bath in the night, you allow it to dry on you. You just do that. So please, for this one, you can decide that you are going to bath it with soap and sponge. After that, you just use the water to rinse your body and then you allow it to dry on you. And then you see that favor or financial favor is going to chase you up and down. And then for those people who also say that whenever they do anything, it is not working for them, or they don't have favor or luck, what you are going to do is that you will get 3 pieces of odiaba seeds, and then you are also going to use direct rainwater. Or if you cannot get direct rainwater, you use coconut water. So you just use water from just one coconut and then you soak this in water. So if you are going to use rainwater, then it means you can use the same rainwater. But if you don't get rainwater and you are going to use coconut water, you add water from a well or a stream. You add it to it, and then you add some few drops of olive oil, or you add few drops of 6 flowers oil. So 6 flower oil is what you see on the screen. You add it and then you soak it for 3 days. And then after 3 days, anytime you are going to bath, you add some few drops of it to your bathing water, and then you go and use it to bath. You can decide to use any soap or any sponge to bath, but after bathing, you are not going to use towel. You allow it to dry on you. So this bath, you are going to do it twice daily. But please, all those things that I've said, all those baths, if you are in your menstruation, you are not going to do this particular bath. And then if you happen to have sexual intercourse, you are not going to do this bath, because the odiaba seed is such that if you have sexual intercourse and then you touch it, it will stop working. So please mind you that when you go to the market to buy the odiaba, it is always preferable that you buy it from old women or men. you can decide to buy it from old women, because if somebody has menstruation and then the person touches it, it will cease to shake. There is some small seed inside the big seed that you see. If you shake the whole pod and then the seed is not shaking, it means that it has spoiled. Somebody has used menstruation hand, or somebody has had sexual intercourse, the person did not bath and then the person has touched it, so it will cease to shake. So please kindly ensure that you always adhere to the fact that when you have sex or when you are in your menstruation, you don't touch this particular one. And then if you are doing any of the directions and then you happen to have sex or you happen to have menstruation, make sure that you cleanse yourself. So after sex, what you do is that you put some sea salt inside water and then use it to bath before you do this particular direction. So if maybe you have sex in the evening, the following morning you are supposed to put some salt inside water and then use it to bath. And then if you want to do the direction, then it means you are supposed to go and bath again with the water. But please, if you are a woman and then you are menstruation, don't do it at all. Make sure that the menstruation ceases before you continue with any of the directions that you are going to do with the Odiaba seed. Now let's look at other use of the Odiaba for spiritual purposes. If you start a new business and then you think that you are supposed to get a lot of customers, what you are supposed to do is that you just get one cinnamon stick. So cinnamon is what you see on the screen. You just get one stick of it. You get water from just one coconut, and then you also get 21 pieces of cloves. So after getting all these items, and then you are also supposed to get 7 bay leaves. Bay leaves is what they use to prepare jollof rice and then stews. So you are supposed to get all these ones. When you go to those market people, they sell it. So what I've said is that you get 3 pieces of Odiaba seed, you get 7 bay leaves, you also get 1 cinnamon, and then water from 1 coconut, then 21 pieces of cloves. You are supposed to boil it in any quantity of water that you desire. You boil it very well for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then use that water to mop your shop. You see that a lot of people will just start chasing you. And then you can also decide that you add some of the water to your bathing water to bath that particular day that you are going to start your business, and then you see that your business is going to boost, or it's going to boom for you, and then you are going to have a lot of customers, and then you are going to have a lot of money. And then if you also have young children and then you want them to be protected, if you want to protect your children against all evil eyes and then all evil spirits, what you are supposed to do is that you just get 1 Odiaba seed, and then you get water from 3 coconuts, please 3. And then you are also supposed to get 3 miracle leaves. Miracle leaf is what they call tamiewu in Ghana. So you are supposed to go early morning to that miracle leaf, and then you tell it your problem, you sprinkle some salt under the plant, and then you pick only 3 leaves. So what you do is that you come to your house and then you soak the leaves and then the 1 Odiaba in the water from the 3 coconuts for 24 hours. You are going to soak it for 24 hours. And then anytime you want to bath your child in the morning and evening, you just add some of the water that you have soaked. You add some to your bath, the bathing water of your child. They use to bath the child. So you are going to do this for about only 3 days, and then you see that your child becomes spiritually strong, and then nobody can harm your child. Then for special protection for you, the father or the mother, what you are supposed to do is that for you are not going to do it the way you are doing it for your child, but for you get 3 pieces of Odiabas, and then you also get 3 pieces of Prekese. But the 3 pieces of Prekese, you cut them into 2 pieces each. So you are going to get 6 pieces. And then you are also going to use 5 bitter coolers. So for the 5 bitter coolers, you are not going to peel it, or you are not going to cut it into pieces or do anything to it. And then you're also going to get some leaves, any quantity of the leaves of cedar akuta. Cedar akuta is what they call abranie tuata in Ghana. The cedar akuta is what you see on the screen. And then you soak all this in any quantity of water that you want, that you think you can use to bath for 3 days. So you are going to soak it for 3 days. And then every night, after your normal bath with your soap and sponge, you just use this water to rinse your body. You allow it to dry on you, and then you go and sleep. No one can harm you. If somebody tries to harm you, it is not going to come to you if you do this particular direction. But please mind you, if you are in a compound house where there are some people with evil eyes or something, if you start this direction, they are going to fight you because they hate this particular udiaba seed with passion. So sometimes they will even fight you over the bathroom, and then some of them are going to leave the bathroom to you alone to use. But in all this, try as much as possible to continue this particular direction. But for those people who cannot get the other items in addition to the odiaba seed, all the other items that I mentioned that you can use together, you can still use the odiaba seed for protection. You can decide that you soak 7 of the 8. So you are going to get 7 pieces of the odiaba. You soak it in water for 3 days. You soak all this in the water for 3 days. The water should be enough that you can use to bath for 7 days. So you are going to use it to bath only in the night. After your normal bath with soap and sponge, you fetch some of this water, then use it to rinse your body. You don't use towel, you just use it to rinse your body, and then you just go and sleep. If you continuously do this for the 7 days, all those bad dreams and other things will just leave your life. And then also, if somebody has mental problem and then the person do this particular direction, it is going to leave the person. So if somebody has mental problem or strange sickness that is not going, the person can do. And then also, if the person has chronic sickness, there are some people, they are such that all the time they are sick. If you continuously do this particular direction, it is going to leave you. But for you, if you are going to use the odiaba seed to bath, you are going to bath it for at least 7 days continuously. So you are going to do it. But please, as I said, if you are a woman in your menstruation, don't touch this one. And then if you are also a pregnant woman, you can also decide that you always use this particular direction for protection. So please kindly ensure that if you are the moment you get pregnant, you soak some of this and then use it to rinse your body after every normal bath for at least 7 days. If you are pregnant too, you can decide that you always put the odiaba seed, just one in water, and then use it to, you apply the odiaba seed containing that moist water on your belly. You do that for some time, and then you see that nothing can touch the pregnancy. There are some people, they will tell you that anytime they become pregnant, they start having complications. So if you are such that a person, you just put the odiaba seed in water and then you apply it on your belly for some time, and then you go and sleep. You do it for twice daily, and all those things cannot come to you. And then if you also have a shop, you can just hang it at the doorpost of the shop. Inside the shop, please, you don't hang it outside so that people see, but just inside the shop, you just tie it with a piece of cloth and then you hang it, and then you see that all those things will just go. You can decide to hang it at your office or anything that concerns you, like maybe your car. You can put some inside your car, and then no evil spirit can come there. And then if you also need it for protection, you can also get castor oil plant with 7 petals. So castor oil plant is what you see on the screen. The one with 7 petals, you are supposed to get it, and then you just burn one odiaba seed with it. So you just put a pot on fire, and then the pot becomes very hot. You now put the odiaba seed inside the pot. Then you put the castor oil plant with 7 petals, put just one of it to it, and then you burn the two. After burning, you can grind it, and then anytime you want to eat, you can add a little to it and then you eat. If you also take alcohol, you can be chewing small with the alcohol, and then you see that if all those negative energies will leave you. If you have some spiritual attack, all those things will go. If you also don't want any spiritual attack and then you think you cannot eat it, you can use a blade to make some incisions on your stomach or any part of your body, and then you just use the black powder that you have obtained by burning the Odiaba seed and then the 7-petal castor oil plant. You just apply it on that incision, and then you see that no spiritual attack can come to you. And then the last thing I want to talk about is spiritual marriage. If you are a woman and then you have spiritual marriage, you can use the Odiaba seed and then 7 susumasa. There is one herb that they call susumasa. The susumasa has some leaves that have 7 petals. The susumasa is what you see on the screen. The Nigerians call it ogirisi. In English, it is called fertility leaf. But scientifically, it is called Nubodia laevis. So use the leaf that has 7 leaflets. You use that one. You take 7 pieces of it. So you take 7 of the susumasa leaves that have 7 petals, as you see on the screen. The one that you see on the screen has 7 petals. So you take 7 of it, and then you add just 1 Odiaba seed to it. And then you also go to the castor oil plant. There are some too that have 7 petals like that too. You are also going to take about 10 of that particular castor oil plant. So what you do is that you use your left hand to take 5 of that particular leaf with 7 petals or 7 leaflets. You use your left hand to take 5 of it, and then use your right hand to also take that, and then you are going to soak it for 3 days in any quantity of water, but make sure that the 3 days fall on the day that you were born. So assuming that you were born on a Wednesday, you are supposed to go to the plant early morning, and then you fetch the leaves. You go to it early morning on a Monday, and then you soak it for the 3 days. The 3 days is going to fall on a Wednesday, and then that Wednesday in the night you start bathing with it. So this one, after a normal bath with soap and sponge, you use this one to rinse your body. So you are going to do this particular bath for 3 days, and then you see that spiritual marriage will just leave you. So let me end it here, and then for now or later on we shall talk about a lot of uses of this particular herb. So please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, you can subscribe now so that you also benefit from all the other videos that we shall talk about. Thank you very much for watching. Bye. Please kindly remember to click on the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel, and then the notification button. Thank you very much.